How's it going, guys? It's 50 here, and today I kind of want to talk about something that's just been on my mind recently about Shadow Legacy. I've been rolling through Twitter and everything, and everyone loves to hype this next season up, and I just kind of want to go over why. I really think if this season does flop, which I don't think it will according to all the YouTubers or content creators that have gotten access to the game, I unfortunately did not, but from what I've seen, it looks like this season is going to absolutely transform Siege. So let's take a look into what Shadow Legacy is looking like so far, and I'm going to tell you why this season could potentially change the entire meta in the entire game. I mean, we're getting new scopes, we're getting new gadgets, we're getting a lot of things this season, and it might have seemed like a really small season when we were looking at the overview. All we saw was a rework of an operator plus one operator, but it is so much more than that. We're getting gadgets, we are getting scopes, and we're getting two new operators, really. Tachanka's basically a new operator, and then of course Zero, Sam Fisher, is going to be on here as well. So in advance, guys, I apologize for the gameplay. I don't know, I just threw a bunch of stuff together. It's not really good or anything. It's not like some top tier bolo highlights, but it is something just for background. But let's get into why I even started wanting to make this video, and it is because I was seeing a lot of tweets about this operation and it was getting super hyped up. And the thing with that is hype usually leads to kind of underwhelming results, but in this case I think it is going to be actually pretty game changing. So for example, here we had Skittles. He said, just played Operation Shadow Legacy. Let me tell you, this is a whole new game. And then one of the lead designers of Rainbow Six Siege said, yup. The same developer also said, Sam's addition to the Rainbow Six game roster is just a tip of the iceberg. Next season, year 5, season 3 is the biggest, most meta changing season we have ever released by a long shot. Are you ready? So I would say, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready for a little bit of change because this game has been a little repetitive. We're at year 5 and I'm hoping this update is really the switch around for the meta, which introduces us to like a second version of Siege and it continue on for another 5 years and so on and so forth. So now why should you not be afraid of the hype? You know, usually everything's always hyped up. The developers are always going to say they're doing a great job because they want people to play the game so they have a job. But this season's a little bit different because everyone that has played this season has been very shook. They've all said that it's going to be changing the meta, which is something huge. To start off, let's just talk about the new gadget. I mean, I introduced the new gadget in a few weeks ago. I introduced the new gadget and who's going to be getting the new gadget and all the gadget changes, and there's a lot of gadget changes. I don't know which ones are going to actually come into fruition, but we do know that the new hard breach gadget is going to be coming, which is just basically like a sledge size gadget that could go through a hard breach that you can actually get through. So that's one thing. And then we are getting the new scopes, which is absolutely insane. We've not really seen a new scope in Siege. All we've had is ACOGs taken away from all of our favorite operators, but now we're going to be getting like 1.5 times scopes on operators that used to have ACOGs, like Bandit, maybe even Jaeger. I know Bandit's going to be getting one, but those two things, new gadgets, new scopes, think about it. That is a huge part of the game, and that right there is why it has every YouTuber and content creator and developer all raving about the next season. Now, weirdly enough, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is the new ranked pool. We're going to get a new map, which is going to be Tower, so that means a map is going to be removed most likely, or they're just going to expand it, but most likely we're going to see a shift in the ranked pool, and that's a big deal for me, and I'm sure it's a big deal for a lot of you guys that play ranked regularly. Just by adding a map, it's not going to change the entire meta, but coexisting with all the other changes that they are doing, this right here has the potential to be called basically Rainbow Six Siege 2. As long as these scopes come out balanced, that right there is going to be able to change the game a ton in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the speed, and of course the meta. Just think, if you had the MP7 with a higher zoomed optic, you're going to play a little bit differently. If you usually run a hollow scope, the zooms are going to make a big difference. It's like the difference between an ACOG and a red dot. It's a big difference. Also, think of the other guns that are apparently going to be getting this new scope. The T5 SMG, which is Legion and Malusi's gun. That gun is already broken by itself, but a lot of guns are going to be getting these new scopes. There's going to be so many changes in this season. You know they had to go big whenever Sam Fisher was the operator. Obviously, Sam Fisher is not the entire season, and this season's actually going to be very special and very, very content rich. Now, I do want to talk about the operators a little bit. I know that I've been making a lot of videos on the operators, so if you want in depth on those operators, and go ahead and just hop a few videos back and you can get plenty about those new operators. So we're gonna have to talk about Sam Fisher a little bit and a little bit of Tachanka. We know everything about Tachanka, so we'll just get that out of the way. He's gonna have the launcher, and basically that's all you need to know about Tachanka. They're gonna be changing up a lot. You get this big launcher. But Sam Fisher, or Zero, is gonna be the actual operator that we are getting in year 5 season 3. Now we don't have the full reveal on him, but of course leakers are a thing. So if you want to see more of Zero, go ahead and click on my last video. That had a lot about Zero, but I want to talk about him and the meta in this one, because this is really focused on the meta and how this season is going to change Siege forever. So the thing with Zero is he is going to be getting these taser type objects that are going to be able to shock enemies, kind of like a Maestro Cam, but on the attacker side. It's only going to be 5 damage and it's going to be shootable for sure. So I don't see this gadget actually really changing metas at all, or at least nothing like how all the other changes have the potential to change the meta. All this operator really is just some new content for us to play with. And it's definitely pretty exciting that we are going to be getting 2 operators that are basically both new. Tachanka's not like a typical rework. He is completely torn down from the bottom and built back up. So the operators are something to look forward to. But the other things to look forward to, aside from the core gameplay improvements and reworks that this game has to offer, we're going to be getting the in-game event, of course. We're also going to be getting an arcade playstyle game mode. And then, since a lot of people always ask, we are going to be getting another battle pass. I don't know why people always ask that. There's a battle pass every single season. There's really no reason for the developers to not make a new battle pass every single season. These battle passes add so much revenue to the company. Think about it. We spend $10 for the battle pass. There's a few 100,000 of us that pay it. Come on, that's some simple math there. So needless to say, there will be the next battle pass, and we're also going to be getting the skyscraper rework and then the operators Zero. And every time I just look at what is going to be coming to this season, I just get more and more excited, because there's also the new weapon sights. And I'm not talking about like the 1.5 times, 3 times, 4 times. Those are all going to be the new sights and stuff, but there is going to be settings for each and every single one of those individually. So you'll be able to change the sensitivity for your 1x, and it could be different than your 2x or your 3x or your 4x, for example. And let me tell you, a lot of people have been asking for this exact setting for a very long time, because people want to match up their hip fire to their ADS, and a lot of people do that by matching it to 83. Now the problem with that is the ACOG has a different sensitivity than the hollow or the red dot, etc. So this setting should enable us to do that. This has not been 100% confirmed, but it is by the leaker 0bytes, which basically he does not miss anything. It's always accurate. He's always on the developer build of the game. So we could be pretty confident all of this stuff will be coming in the new Rainbow Six Siege, or as they like to call it, Shadow Legacy. So all in all, guys, you guys should be hyped if you like Rainbow Six Siege, and you should really be hyped if you are kind of tired of the current state of Siege and you want change, because this is the season for you. I'm gonna leave you off with one more tweet, and this is by another developer here, and he said, "Don't get fooled with Sam being a special guest. We had to make this season even more special, and let me tell you, the content of this season is insane. Be there Sunday and witness history." So you guys know that you will be getting a video Sunday, to say the least. After that streams or airs, I will record live reactions of that, and I will post that online until kind of give my whole analysis on the new season. It's going to be the full reveal of the season. These are just to kind of hype us up, so hopefully it does just that. I'm sure it will. I'm already pretty hyped. New scopes, new gadgets, new operators, new map pool. That's all I needed to hear to know that Siege is here to stay. And with that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace out.